talk about it? Why don't we talk about it?
Why do you worship
Of bone cancer in animals that live in the wild, or the creator of lions that eat zebras alive,
tear them apart,
right? Yeah,
yes.
Or the creator of the cat, of the male cat's penis,
yes,
which has got thorns on it.
Right.
Why would you worship that creator?
Okay, good question. It's a very good question. Do those concepts logically, do they logically negate the existence of a creator?
They don't negate the existence of a creator.
Right.
They negate the existence of a benevolent creator.
Well, hold on a second. We have to...
And they are evidence of a malevolent
The
creator.
judgment...
I think that God should be put in the dock, found guilty, and tortured. Everlasting torture would be an unfair punishment. He deserves more than everlasting torture.
So benevolence
from what she has created.
So from your concept, so if the very existence of the creator is not affected by, you know, what you've seen, what you've noticed, what you've experienced,
no.
right? Okay.
I'm not saying that I believe
I understand.
there's some conscious force.
I understand.
I don't know. Right?
I understand.
Because those who don't know, you know, those who say don't know,
yes.
like you, but I just don't know, so I don't say, right? So I don't know, you know, but I'm saying that that for me, there's overwhelming evidence that if there was a conscious creator, it is I mean, I can't even describe the evil. If I would have put it this way, if I would have been given the task of creating this game, which I see it as, right?
Yes.
And I would have created this game, knowing that it was going to happen, and then actually seeing it happen, I would be absolutely devastated, full of shame, and I would run away, and I wouldn't want anybody or anything to ever come anywhere near me. I would be broken.
Fine. Let's have that discussion, right?
Yeah.
So the first point was, the seeing or experiencing of something does not negate the existence of it. That's the first thing.
Okay.
Now, the second thing you said was, why would you worship that creator that created these things? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you judge those things as inherently and objectively evil and bad and wrong, correct?
That's
right. Would you accept that if this creator did exist, since that first contention doesn't actually negate that possibility?
When you say creator, you're talking about a conscious
being
that knew what was going to happen.
Absolutely, and created everything,
and created it
including the things that you said.
Yeah.
Right. So if the first notion doesn't...
I got the first notion,
doesn't necessarily negate that, then would it be reasonable to accept, looking at what we see, the universe, the laws of physics, biology, all these things, that this existence is incredibly intelligent and powerful to be able to bring these things into existence?
No, I think it's incredibly stupid.
So you think the universe,
it's incredibly
the
stupid.
complexity of life, DNA...
At the same time, it's like humans, It is this kind of savant, it's kind of this paradoxical combination of extreme brilliance and extreme stupidity. It's as if this creator had a really bad case of kind of ADHD or autism.
Let's have the conversation.
That it was able to say, let's do this little experiment, and it'll be very clever and all that. And the creator, and he didn't notice that. But it's going to cause cancer and heart disease, and children are going to get abused and eaten up alive, and animals are going to. He just didn't.
Look,
let's just play the game. Let's just throw the dice.
I didn't catch your name. What was it? Sorry, Danny Abass, right? Danny, to have a meaningful discussion, I believe, let's deal with one concept aspect at a time. Otherwise, it becomes more of an emotional discussion than, I believe, a meaningful one. So the first notion was the existence of this creator is not affected by the things that we see. That's the first thing. The second thing I would say is that the more complexity that we see in a thing, the more intelligence or complexity we see in the thing that created it. So if you go to NASA and you see a space station, a rocket, the space shuttle, you intrinsically, I would say, admire the complexity of the product, the thing itself.
I mean, the problem with that is like,
let me just
created Donald Trump.
But let me just make the.
Are you impressed?
Please,
with that?
let me just make the point first, right? So now, what we do see, however, is we see the universe, we see DNA, we see the biology, the physics, the chemistry, whatever it is that we see,
DNA,
right? We see incredible complexity and intelligence within that structure. So it's reasonable, therefore, to accept that the one that...
What do you mean by intelligence?
Knowledge.
100% correct.
Knowledge.
100% correct.
Knowledge. Knowledge.
Knowledge.
And the application of knowledge.
The application of knowledge.
Yes. Knowledge itself, knowing something, and the best application of that knowledge for the best outcome. Let me make my point, Danny. Let me make my point. So my point...
What has the knowledge?
Danny, let me make my point, right? So when we see the universe, it points to an intelligence and a capability and a capacity and a level of power that is beyond our understanding and comprehension. It's not something we can reproduce. So now comes to the point that you raised.
I think it is something we
Let me
can
just,
reproduce.
I'll just
That's
finish.
what AI is doing.
I'll just finish my point, Danny. Now it comes to the point that you raised, that I see all of these things, and from my capacity of knowledge, of reasoning and understanding, from my nurture and my nature, both limitations upon my judgment, often that are heavily influenced by whatever I've absorbed in my life, right? I judge those things in a more superior way to the one that created all of this.
Oh, that old chestnut.
And
You're
I
gonna
would
bring
say
that up. Oh,
it's a lovely hot chestnut,
actually believe
steaming hot with that lovely flavour of that chestnut nutty flavour coming out, right, Danny?
So I mean,
So from our perspective, Danny.
yes. So I mean, to me, you're proving my point.
No, but look, from our
saying
perspective,
that.
we don't stop the argument there. We say, look, this is a good argument to point us possibly in the direction of this creator. However, how
And
do we...
and you think this creator is good?
We believe...
You just can't quite figure out how it all works.
Well,
but it's good, don't worry.
I believe that...
Don't worry, it's good. You people I tell you, why don't we go to the UCH hospital and we go to the or Great Ormond Street and we go, kids, look, kids, I know it's probably horrible having cancer and being kids, but don't worry, it's all for the good.
Danny,
it's all for the good. It's
Danny,
fine.
Danny,
yeah?
if there was
Because
a
God
Danny,
did it,
Danny,
therefore it must
Danny,
fine.
if there was a
Why
woman,
don't we
if
go
there was
to-
a woman here,
Why won't we
if there was a, if there was
Why
a
don't we
woman,
go to
Danny,
Gaza
Danny,
or Israel
if there was a
and
woman,
tell
if
them
there was a
that
woman here,
Yeah.
and you saw a man approach her
Yeah,
with a knife and cut open her belly,
yeah.
you and I would judge that as an evil act, as a bad thing.
Yeah.
When we apply the context now,
Oh, come on.
yes,
Context.
she had a birth breach.
Right.
She was about to die,
Yeah. But, okay.
and he did an
Let's
emergency
not-
cesarean
okay,
section
let's
on
not
her.
talk about that, right? What
Right?
if a
No, no.
man- What if a man just
No,
stabs a woman and any
but
old
please,
woman?
but
She's
please,
not like
but
that.
please, Danny, just look at the principle I'm trying to apply here. My perception of that act was evil, unjust, unfair, abhorrent. Yet now when I know the true picture of what's happened, I come up with a completely different conclusion. I go and thank the man. You just saved her life, you saved her baby. Similarly, Danny, our perception on the things that we see, as Allah says in the Quran, it may be that you dislike and hate a thing that is beneficial for you, and it may be that you detest a thing. Sorry, that you like a thing
This argument.
and covet a thing that indeed may be harmful for you. Now, the point is, Danny, the point is, why should I believe that notion? Why should I believe that these words that are being told to me
Because you want to.
are actually worthy
Because
of
you
accepting?
can't stand the thought
No.
of the idea that you don't know what the
I'll tell you
fuck
how
you're
I've-
talking about.
Danny, I've-
you don't know what the point
Danny,
of life is.
Danny,
you don't know anything.
Danny.
And you're going to die.
Danny.
And in 300 years' time, that's going
Just
to
give
be
me
the end of you.
give me 30
It's
seconds.
Finished.
Give me 30 seconds, Danny. Now, the reason why I believe these things is
don't know
because
why.
I have a claimant 14 centuries ago who I have to verify, who says that he came with a revelation from this creator, which I also have to verify.
Name the top 30.
Which claims-
Name the top
Please.
30 logical fallacies.
Please,
Just
let me-
cut to the chase.
please, let me just-
No, because you're saying that you have to do all this.
Danny.
But if you're not aware of all the logical fallacies and all the biases that are in your mind, then you cannot tell the truth from falsehood.
Danny,
you
just-
don't know
just-
them.
just-
You don't know how you've been hoodwinked.
Danny, I'll tell you
and
what-
you have been hoodwinked.
Danny, let me just-
using lots of logical fallacies.
Danny, let me finish my point, right? So when I look at the Quran that claims to be a miracle, and it challenges human beings, that this Quran is indeed has an inimitability challenge. You cannot